Hi, and welcome to The Social Angle, a podcast that helps promo pros gain an edge in the social media realm. I'm Vinny, and on this episode, I am joined by Mike Freestone, Chief Idea Officer at the promo agency powered by Performa, to discuss the viral AI chatbot taking the globe by storm, ChatGPT, what it is, how it works, and why the promo industry should care. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Absolutely. What's the weather like today out in Michigan?
It's 35 degrees, sunny, and we're just loving every moment of the sun because we're kind of a gray area.
Yeah, we're like, I was telling you offline, it's been crazy. It's been 60s, 70 degrees even during a long stretch in February. We haven't had any snow on the East Coast. So, yeah, it's been a crazy, very mild winter out here on the East Coast. But I'm really excited to have this conversation with you today, Mike. We're going to be talking about Chat GPT. But before we get into the conversation, can you please give us a brief intro of who you are, what you do, and how you found yourself in the promo industry?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm born and raised and currently live in Holland, Michigan, a beautiful little town here. We'd love everybody to come and visit. I'm married to my lovely wife for 34 years. We have 4 kids who are all married, 2 grandkids, which is the new fun thing in our lives. I
Nice.
started working in promotional products in 1987.
Oh, wow.
I remember typing purchase orders, physically mailing in artwork, and doing stuff like that. So I remember the old days, and I like the new days better. I was working with my brother Ken when he moved back to town, and had previously worked at a promotional product company, and he took his little brother along to help, and I've been in it ever since.
Nice. So you're like a lifer, so to speak.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
lots of longevity in this industry. I love it. I've been in it for 15 years, and it's hard to get out. Even even if you get out, I know a lot of people
Yeah.
that come back. They're like, no, I missed it too much. I love the networking. I love the people I worked with. I love the business. So yeah, I mean, it's a great industry, and the longevity to me just proves that it's an awesome industry.
Yeah, it is. It's great, great lifelong friends. I enjoy it all the time, and I love everything about it.
Me too. Me too. All right. So we're going to be talking about Chat GPT. Now, for those who don't know, can you tell us what Chat GPT is and what it's used for?
Sounds good. So I was looking up the perfect definition I could tell you. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, "What is ChatGPT?" And it answered me. And it says, "I am ChatGPT, a large language model developed by OpenAI. I'm designed to understand and generate human-like language and can be used for a wide range of natural language processing tasks, like generating text and providing recommendations. So it will, you can type what you want into their bar, and it'll give you an answer back in a human-like form.
And it's kind of freaky. Like I think of it as a search engine, right? You're using it to, for an answer, but it gives you almost really kind of, it's almost like somebody human is writing it on the other end. It's AI, as you mentioned, and it's really intelligent because once, and we'll talk about how I got wind of what you were doing with the MIPA newsletter. um, I decided to go to Chat GPT. You just have to, I think you have to register or log in, create a login. Then you go in and you play with it. You can ask it any type of question, and it gives you really good answers. Answers that are you think are created by another human being, but it's artificial intelligence. And we're going to talk right now about what you did. It was on the cover of this. Was it this month's newsletter?
Yeah,
Um,
it was the February issue of MIPA Monthly. I'm on the board of directors for MIPA, the Michigan Promotional Professionals Association, and I'm in charge of the newsletter. So I have to write a new cover story every month and assemble everything. So last month was my easiest time ever. I typed in eight
Yeah, we're gonna
words.
sh- yeah, we're gonna show it to you here. So tell us a little bit about what you did here on the newsletter.
So I typed in a 150 word article on how to sell promotional products. And within 30 seconds, I had a full list of how to be successful in selling promotional products from number one, understand your target market, two, build relationships, three, offer a wide range of products, four, be creative with your promotions, five, use social media, 6, attend trade shows and networking events, and 7, provide excellent customer service, all with additional information below each of those topic lines. And it literally was, I cut and pasted it exactly as it was. I didn't have to fix the typos or anything. And yeah, so it was very good, and I had a great response. Everybody loved it. And so I
Yeah, it's
have
pretty
to,
fascinating because
yeah,
I looked at this, and for those who can't read it, again, you basically put into the Chat GPT. You asked it for a 150 word article on how to sell promotional products, and this is what you got. You got 150 words. And literally, the first paragraph is promotional products, also known as advertising specialties, are items that bear a company's name, logo, or message and are used to promote a business or event. These items can range from pens and mugs to t shirts and bags. Selling promotional products can be a lucrative business, but it can also be competitive. Here are some tips on how to sell promotional products. And that was the intro paragraph. And then it gave you uh, those seven tips. And it's almost like somebody wrote this, but
yeah,
you got it within seconds putting this
exactly.
into Chat GPT.
Hmm.
So this was your topic for your newsletter front page, and I thought it was fascinating because I added on into my Twitter account a question about Chat GPT, and you could do polls on Twitter. So I wrote, "Are you currently using Chat GPT for your business?" And we had an interesting amount of results. We had 71% said no, which I wasn't surprised by. 22% said yes, but 6.5% I think falls into a range of I think it's I was surprised it was low. It was what's Chat GPT. I think a lot of people now know what Chat GPT is. They're aware of it. They don't know as much about it. They probably haven't tried it out, but Chat GPT is everywhere, and I find it, pretty interesting that we're doing things like you're doing on your newsletter right now, and people are testing the waters, and they're really seeing how powerful this tool can be.
Exactly, and I think of it, it's like a starting a conversation. So it's like when you work with your customers, and the more information you know, the better you're able to provide them with assistance and finding the right items for their event or promotion. And this is something. It's just kind of it just gives you an idea of where to start. Will that article be exactly what you want or be the perfect thing? No, but at least it kind of gives you a starting point to build upon. So that's what I think it's helpful for as well. It's useful for not just, I mean, writing one single article, but then if you're looking for more information, just to, kind of to prime the pump to get things
Sure,
going,
sure,
instead of a writer's block from just sitting with a blank piece of paper going, I have to write something. Just start with, what's spring promotional ideas for your customers for March? How should I promote that? And it will come back with probably 10 different items that you could use.
I like that you used writer's block as a potential use for this because a lot of people need that that push in the right direction, and I think that would be a great way to use this tool if that's what you're looking to do. It's like, hey, I need an idea, I need a way to form this perspective that I'm trying to come up with and I just can't. Now, what else, how else can the promo industry be using this new technology?
Well, so I took this today. I used the ChatGPT to tweet about the benefits of promoting your company with writing instruments. So it came up with a tweet: boost brand recognition and leave a lasting impression with every signature. Promoting your company with writing instruments is a cost-effective and practical way to increase brand visibility and loyalty. Hashtag branding, hashtag marketing, hashtag promotional products. So something like that can just be, if you're looking for that next thing to say, at least let it start to have the conversation for you, and you can tweak it after that. I had another customer who is a higher end company of what they sell, and I put their product line in there and higher end, and it came back with 5 paragraphs of how to, and it basically wrote the copy for them for everything they needed to promote themselves. And we can use that again. We can use that word for word. It's very cost effective if you're reselling your time for something
Sure.
like that. but you can also tweak that and use it, like I said, as a starting point. It can be some of the ingredients in your recipe.
That's fascinating. Again, I'm talking to Mike Freestone. And we are talking about Chat GPT. If you have any comments or questions about Chat GPT, feel free to post now. We'll try to get to the comments or questions during, or if we can't get to them during the live stream, we'll get to them after. Um, Now, obviously, Mike, the benefits we can see for Chat GPT are real. You can get immediate answers. You can get help with Chat GPT, but where can it go wrong? Where can this technology, and I think there's movies out there, I think about HAL from 2001 A Space Odyssey, where
Yep.
AI can go wrong, The Matrix. There are plenty of movies out there about the doom and gloom about where this can go wrong in sort of an existential way. But where do you see this going wrong on a business level?
Oh, I think you have to, again, it can be a tool in your toolbox, but it can't be your only thing. I mean, I wouldn't decide to write, search for something for a customer in for a marketing purpose or something like that, and just cut and paste and go ahead with it. You better read that. You better, for typos, but also, is it the language that they speak? If you're writing it in a whimsical fashion, and you can put that in. I need to have a writing instrument information in a whimsical fashion, or I did one earlier in a Shakespearean fashion and I actually created it. And that's not their language. And you show that for them, that could be. They would probably think, "Why are you not providing me what I need
Right.
in the language that I speak?"
Right, and I think that that brings up a larger issue about, and I want to use the word plagiarism, because you're not using somebody else's writing, but you're not really using your own, and I think that that could have harmful effects for people who are writers. We all write. I think, whether or not you're getting paid to write, you're an editor, you're whoever, we all write on a daily basis. We send emails, but actually, getting in there and using it to do work, I think from the perspective of a high school student or a college student, it could be harmful that this tool is actually writing essays. I mean, I grew up I went to high school in the '80s, and I knew kids who were like trying to figure out ways for somebody else to write their papers. Now you have this tool where somebody, I'm not going to say somebody, something else is writing your papers for you, and that to me, I think, is could be harmful, certainly from an educational standpoint, but also the creation of fake content. I think is easily enabled by this technology. Do you see any other harmful ways that this can go wrong?
Well, yeah, because if you get your degree based on what you've done, your writing in or whatever, in college, and then you have to go perform after that. Like you said, you're not going to be able to perform as well as other people who actually did the work. I can see where, like high school or something, you're gonna be locked in the room with a pen and a piece of paper, and you're
Right.
gonna write that paper. You're not gonna have access to that, so maybe it's more in school writing. It can also There's also times that these it's chat has been used as kind of nefarious things where you can speak to a person who's, uh, let's say, a bad person in the past, and you can interact with them like that. So I think that's part of the bad parts of it. But I think it will end up being overall good, especially when it's integrated with some software and different things within our industry or any other industry. Like I said, can you imagine when ASI integrates Chat GPT into ESP to type stuff out to find the perfect item for this customer? If that helped give you better information quicker, that's a good thing for us. So
Right.
I think it's so new. Yeah, there's many different variables you can look at of how it could go bad, but I think the positive things outweigh the negative.
Yeah, for sure. At this moment in time, I believe that the future is bright for a tool like this. I think it's going to help streamline a lot of what how we do business from a writer's perspective. Like we mentioned, it's going to help with ideas. It's going to kind of push you in the right direction for any type of writer's block that you might have. It's certainly a way for you to gather information. I mean, we have at our disposal Google, we have Bing, but apparently Bing is going to be integrating this Chat GPT um, into their software, and I think that
Mhm.
that's going to be a game changer for Bing, because I think Bing has been, it's kind of uh, a, it's like a punchline. Bing is not
Right.
uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not a search engine too many people use, but maybe now this is going to be a game changer for them. So I think there's a lot of practical ways that this could be integrated into business and be very helpful. Now we have a couple of comments and questions. Judy Brown says, if I were to ask Chat GPT a question from my location in Washington and someone else asks the same question in South Carolina, would we expect to get the same result? Now, I'm not exactly sure what that question would be. I think she's asking more location based questions. Do you have any advice for Judy on that one?
Yeah, well, because ChatGPT it gets to know you, so it remembers your style, what you asked. It builds your history and your background of who you are. So it builds your flavor into your answers starting out. So is it possible if you ask a simple black and white question, you might get the same answer? But if you ask another question, it would know that Judy is going to say something to Judy than it would to me, likely.
So interesting. So this is, it's a constantly learning software. So it gets to know you personally based on the
Yes.
questions that you ask it, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, and then you can also refine it. There's other. I mean, there's several videos out there now about um, what you put in. Of course, makes a difference for what you get out of it. It's like the garbage in, garbage out thing. And
Right.
like in our industry, bad art makes for a bad imprint. So if you
Right.
ask a bad question, you're going to get a bad answer. And the more you give, you can give like almost a paragraph description of what you're looking for to give it that much more definition of what you need. So that way, it's not just guessing to hit everybody. No, I need this to hit this segment, this clientele, this area or this region. Um, I did it earlier for it was a trade show example of promotional ideas for um, let's see, it was for a fly fishing company. Promotional product ideas for a trade show that's promoting their new fly fish to an audience that is 50 to 65 years old and Caucasian. And it gave me 10 different items with how you would use those items that you'd sell into to promote that fly fishing brand. And you could do it, just change that up a little bit. It could be, anyway, pick a different age group,
Yeah. Yeah.
different nationality, and it would give it back to you as well.
It's very, very interesting. We have a comment from Melissa McCauley, and she is listening and watching from LinkedIn. She said, biggest problem, lots of inaccurate info. I just asked it what types of products Numo Manufacturing makes, and this response was one, aerospace components, two, medical devices, three, industrial machinery, four, automotive components, five, consumer electronic components. And she said, and well, that couldn't be further from the truth. So I do think that you have to use it carefully. You have to make sure that you're just using it as guidance, because yes, it's machine learning. It's going to take some time for it to understand maybe precisely what you're looking for. Maybe there's going to be some uh, continuity issues with which company. It may not be pegging the right Numo company or whatever company that you're looking for. So to me, I think that you have to kind of get in there and you have to play around with it a little bit. Now, Mike, how did you set up your account? Like, is there a Chat GPT website, or do you have to log in, create a user? How does it work?
Yeah, if you go onto chat, I just search for Chat GPT, but it usually brings you to chat.openai.com, and OpenAI is who developed it. Just sign up for your account. It's free. There is a paid version as well. I was talking to a gentleman at a chamber event the other day, and we got bantering about Chat GPT for quite a while, and he said I signed up for the paid version, which is like $20 a month. But it offers you faster response times. You're always able to get in. So in case there's if it's a free account, you're going to be bumped down to the paid people. So yeah, it's simple to set up. Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Yeah, and it took me like 5 minutes to set up, and I was messing around with it on Friday, and I was just shocked at how powerful it was. So Paul Thuman says, been using this and also ChatSonic for Chrome for a couple of months. Very cool stuff.
Hmm.
Um, Tim Hill says hi. And he also says AI is from the aliens. Tim, I do not disagree with that. I do believe that there's some sort of alien connection to this. And Dean Veneman says, very cool, Mike. Now, you touched a little bit upon the social media. Now, you can go in and you can ask it to write you tweets, right?
Hmm.
You could say, "Hey, can you
Yeah.
create a tweet that's 280 characters that, talks about whatever?" And then it can actually spit out, including hashtags, a tweet that you can use, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to have your Monday motivation tweet you're going to send out, or you're going to have your uh, again launching for whatever in 3 months, it's National Wine Day or something like that. So I'm going to make a tweet for that to promote that 3 months ahead. It will help create that. It'll likely give you hashtags. And you can even go back and say, nope, regenerate that, change it a little bit so you can modify it even more. And it'll learn your language a little better the longer you
Interesting.
go along.
So you're saying that my job's going to be in jeopardy soon?
Yeah, you should get your resume up, updated a little bit. I,
Yeah,
I,
it's a little bit scary to think that this thing can write tweets potentially as good or better than somebody who is being paid to do that exact work and to actually know the business inside and out, and to
yeah.
have this AI machine learning language come in there and do that without really knowing much about the business. It's kind of shocking to me.
So yeah, earlier I put in uh, promo items, a haiku on selling promotional products, and it was branded items sell, logos on pens, mugs and shirts, promote your business.
I love it. I love it. I'm a big
So,
haiku guy. That's the 575
yep.
syllables, and this friggin' machine language is doing these haikus. Oh, something that takes me,
Yeah.
an hour to write. It's writing
Yeah.
it instantaneously. So David Nell wants to know, why aren't you wearing a logoed shirt right now, Mike? Oh,
I
there it
am.
is.
My logo's right there. It's
Uh,
anyway.
it's
So
on the
I
shoulder.
am.
I like that. I like that. And Dean Veneman says the relationship between Mike Freestone and aliens has been developing for years. I don't even know if I want to touch that one,
I
Mike.
No. We'll just leave Dean alone.
Okay.
He and I'll talk later.
All right. So, any final comments, questions? Feel free to post in the chat. Now, Mike, any final advice for using Chat GPT for the promo industry?
Well, I would play around with it. Again, it's a free piece of software to use, so it can't hurt. And you might be surprised what it could develop for your customers. I mean, if you're trying to work, with a new company and you want to be able to help offer a marketing solution to them, their new tagline, something like that, put it in there. You might find out that you'll go to them and just say I came up with a phrase, and you can tell them where you got it from Chat GTP or not, and you can probably charge them for it. So it's yeah, I'd play around with it. But there's other AI software like Midjourney is another one for developing artwork, which is a little more detailed, but it can help. It will create pictures. You could say, I want to see a unicorn with a walrus in the surf by a lighthouse, and it will within 30 seconds develop 4 pictures for you, showing exactly that, which is really wild. And I know people who are using this to generate images and then to sell on their own direct to garment.
So the designers have to worry about their jobs too.
Yeah, yeah. You should all be worried.
Well, I don't know if this was a productive conversation or one that I should be worried about. But yeah, this has been a great conversation about ChatGPT. Now, I did read something on Friday that said that you can verify whether or not something was written in ChatGPT. Is that true?
I think there's somebody who's created a software now that will cross check, and I think that's again like people who are or your kids who write or students who write term papers, stuff like that. I think it can be run through that. I believe there's somebody who created something that would help that.
Melissa McCauley writes, "Not the good designers. I like the way you
Yeah.
think." Oh, that's Tim's. Yeah, she said, "Not the good designers." And yes, you want to stay one step ahead of that pesky AI. Make sure that you provide something that the AI can't. That's you're dispensable. I would think that if you can't do something that the AI can't. So,
Exactly.
all right, Mike. So that's been our conversation about. Oh wait, so we have another question on LinkedIn. I'm getting. Where do you access the tool? It told me I needed to be put on a waiting list. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. That came from Dawn Marie Perkins on LinkedIn. Now, I've heard of the wait list. I software came out what, November of 2022. When it first
Hmm.
came out, I think it was only a handful of people, and then they kept adding people, kept adding. If you were one of the lucky ones to get on and been able to create an account, and you were set up,
Yep.
uh, maybe since Friday, it's gotten so much demand that they're now putting people on a wait list. But Dawn, when I set mine up on Friday, I wasn't put on a wait list. So maybe between Friday and today, there's been a huge demand. I think that's why they put people on a waiting list, is that they just can't handle the demand right now.
Yeah, and I think you get an answer pretty quick. From what I remember when I signed up, and I think that you do get an answer.
Yeah. So Dawn, keep trying. Judy Brown said, I just signed up while listening this morning. So it seems like Judy got through. Dawn, I would try again. Um, and Nancy Brooks says, are you familiar with Berserker Mail? It is
I am
similar.
not, but I just wrote that down, so I'm going to look at it afterwards and see what
Yeah.
what comes up with.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of options out there. Um, and Steve and sorry if I botch your name, Ant Koyak wrote, I was able to get in a few minutes ago. So
Hmm.
Dawn, try it again. You should be able to get in. If not, maybe there's something with your IP that is preventing you from um, accessing. I'm not sure, but keep trying. You'll eventually get in. Um, and any other advice about ChatGPT? Should all
Well,
businesses in the promo industry be using it, Mike?
it can't hurt to check it out, and I think that you'll find there's benefits for you for idea generation and just for, again, like getting that writer's block out of the way. That's always the biggest thing, just to get the pump primed. The one last thing that I searched for today was the benefits of using writing instruments as a business promotion written as Shakespeare. And I'll the first and last paragraph is all I'll do, because there's 5 paragraphs, but it's a sonnet. And it was, oh, to sing the praises of the humble writing instrument, a tool that doth aid in promotions augmentation. In business, it doth serve as a potential implement to spread one's message to a wider congregation. So let us sing the praises of the writing instrument, a tool that doth serve in promotions augmentation and enhance one's business with great adulation. So that's a
So
you won't find any place else to write that. I could not write that. So,
no, so it fashions itself as the bard as well. So it's
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I can't believe this. It does everything. I wonder if it'll walk the dog too. So crazy stuff. I can't believe that we're talking about this. A week ago. I never heard of it. Maybe 2 weeks ago, and then now I'm hearing about it everywhere. It's insane how quickly technology is changing. Is it going to change our industry? I don't know. I don't think so, but I think it's going to be a big part of what we do going forward. So Mike, thank you so much for your time today. This has been a great conversation. Again, if anybody has any comments or questions, you could drop it into the chat. We'll get to them after the conversation. We're pretty much done. But Mike, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do so?
My You can reach me, Mike at thepromoagency.net, or I'm at free Mike J on Twitter.
Awesome. And the comments just keep, I just love these comments. Melissa McCauley wrote, I'm going to ask it to build our next trade show booth. Why not? It may be a joke now, but maybe in the year, it's not going to be a joke. So yeah, lots of great comments. And Mike, thank you again for being with me today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Vinny.
Absolutely. For Mike, I'm Vinny. We'll see you next time on The Social Angle.